So the NFL world was somewhat shocked this past week when Derek Carr, Saints quarterback, announced his retirement. Now here in Fresno, we're not entirely shocked by this. He bought a house in the north part of town. His kids are now here. His wife is here. So, this isn't a huge surprise. This kind of being rumored about. Another rumor is also that he'll be back after a year or so. Like, he wanted to get out of New Orleans. They wanted to move on from him. They really couldn't figure out how. So, I would not be stunned if he comes back. And maybe I'll talk about that in the off season, what I think could happen with Derek in his NFL if he decides to come back, and recap what he meant to the Raiders. But this is about Fresno State perspective. And let me tell you something, as a Fresno State fan, there was nothing better than watching Derek Carr as your quarterback. Absolutely nothing. Because you knew he was going to be special from the moment he stepped on campus. And not only did he live up to the expectations, he surpassed them. I mean, the numbers he had speak for themselves. I mean, his senior year, he went like 50 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. And I know there are people who were Raider fans, I dealt with them every day, who said, oh, Carr can't carry a team and so forth. I personally don't believe an NFL quarterback can do that by himself. In college, it's a different story, and he absolutely did that in college with Davante Adams. Absolutely. And that was probably the most fun I've ever had as a Fresno State fan. Watching Derek do that with Davante. Just chuck it downfield to each other and line up the scoreboard, man. And, I still think about what if Jeff Tedford had managed to coach the 2012 and 13 Bulldogs. Because I firmly believe that if we had Jeff Tedford instead of Tim DeRuyter, we're looking at a Kellen Moore type run at Fresno State. But now I'll go over some of the accomplishments they did at Fresno State. 2012, Derek Carr's junior season, first year of Pat Hill. They, for the first time since 1999, win at least a share of the conference title. Hadn't been done under Pat Hill. Next year, they win the conference title outright for the first time in, 20 years, something like that. I mean, it was a remarkable achievement. I mean, yes, they should have done more, but they had a horrific defense that kind of foreshadowed what Derek would deal with in the NFL, the Raiders. I mean, he lost one game after scored more than 50 points. Think about that. And I know people will go like, oh, yeah, well, he delivered competition. Look how he played against USC in the Las Vegas Bowl. No way, dude. I'm not going to get into that here, but that also was kind of a foreshadow because he got injured against Utah State in the championship game a couple of weeks before. Still played through it. But, and I think that kind of sums up, I don't know how I want to say this. This would require another video for me to take, but after he left with Davante Adams and a few other guys, the program went downhill, bit by bit, until Jeff Tedford came over in 2017. That is the definition of a quarterback carrying a program, carrying a team. And in college, you could do that. I mean, his junior and senior year, he had 87 touchdowns. I mean, that's incredible. And they weren't generally garbage points either. Even in his sophomore year, you could see how special he was going to be. There's a famous image of Carr making a flip over to trying to get a touchdown at Nebraska. I mean, you knew what he was, and he lived up to it. His numbers are tied on the Bulldog Ring of Honor. I mean, what more can you say about the guy as a quarterback? He was everything you wanted as a Fresno State fan. You were hoping he'd be, from the moment he came on campus, like I said earlier, he'd be special, and he was. Right? He, in my mind, is what is the standard of what a Fresno State quarterback is. Right? Some people will say Trent Dilfer. Some people will say his brother David. I was too young for both. And we've had good quarterbacks since then. Marcus Mariota, Jake Kaner. But man, I don't know if we'll ever see in this day and age of college football, a Derek Carr again. You know what I'm saying? Because he could have gone anywhere else. He lit up in high school in Texas as a 4-star recruit, had offers from the likes of LSU, USC, and so forth, but said, I want to be a Bulldog. And that adds an extra layer of special, because how many quarterbacks say that for a school like Fresno State? Maybe in the pack it will change, but right now, you know, I don't know if we'll ever see that again. And that really is what he means to Fresno State fans. He might be something we will never see again. So Derek, if this is your retirement, if you're really going to hang it up, you've earned it. You've made more than enough money, $20 million. Be with your wife, be with your kids, praying for you after that miscarriage. Enjoy your life.